And it's also really fun because they look like makeup. So, yeah. Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I hope you're good. So today I'm so excited for this video because it's like Christmas in my studio. I got a new art supply and I'm so excited.
Please don't say I'm the only one that gets this excited opening art supplies. Look at them. There's just something about opening new art supplies and the potential, and I'm just so excited to see what these can do and what I can do.
So I got Pan Pastel. Pastels? Pan Pastels. Is it Pan Pastel or Pan Pastel? Anyway, I saw these and I'd never ever heard of them. But after doing a little bit of research, I just had to get them. I mean, look how bright and beautiful they are. They come in lots of kind of sets and different colours, but there is such a big range of colours and they are quite expensive. So I managed to get my hands on the landscape set. They come stacked together and they are just so fun. I'm easily pleased. All right, look. They are so cute. And you also get pots with like the little blenders, and there's loads of different kinds. These are like special tools that you use, and I do know you can actually wash these with soap and water. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I remember someone saying that you can. I haven't actually seen anybody use these. I'm coming in as an illustrator that uses digital and is experimenting with different things. So I may or may not be using them correctly. Who knows? I'm just going to have fun and experiment. So I think the very first thing we should do is take a look at these much more closely and have an experiment. I just said experiment. But yeah, let's do it. Let's get experimenting. So I'm going to need all my pan pastels. Let's do it. Let's get experimenting.
Opening these actually felt really special. I mean, may have been the price, but I don't know, it was just an experience because I did not know what to expect. I didn't know how they were going to look, how they were going to... Okay, I know there was a picture on the front, but, you know, you don't know how they're going to feel. So, yeah, I was so excited, if I hadn't said that already. So they came already stacked and I had no idea they could kind of fit into each other. For a minute, I got really confused. And because I live on the island, this happened. Good old postage. But to be fair, one casualty out of however many in the packet was actually really good, I think anyway. So it did have to come on a boat. So, you know, I'll let them off. And then it was time to get testing. And yeah, my default of my characters, my triangles and my shapes, but where this is something I always draw and I love to draw, I figured it would be a good place to start because to see how they would work with me and how I could work with them, because this is what I do. On a daily basis, I just love drawing characters, and these were so pigmented and what a lovely colour. I mean, that red, I cannot actually get over the brightness of the red. It is even brighter than the camera even picks up. I have to say, yes, I use pencils, but this was because I initially found working with the sponges and the fact you couldn't get a lot of detail a bit irritating, but this was my fault because I didn't actually have the right tools, so I can't blame them. I also realised I didn't have a colour for the faces, so I thought I'd better quickly order one.
So now I've kind of done a bit of a test run and just to see how they work and what they do and can I even use them. I'm going to now create a final piece, but because I got the landscape set, I am actually going to go out and find a landscape on the Isle of Wight where I live. I'm going to come out with some sort of illustration that is done primarily with Pan Pastel. I mean, I am going to probably work over the top in pencil because I need my comfort blanket. But I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to do a little bit of exploring on the island. And yeah, the island. Sounds like it's Hawaii or something. It's not. But yeah, so let's do it. Let's go get sketching, doodling. let's go explore and have some fun and see what we can find as inspiration. Let's do it. Let's get exploring. Now we've had an explore. I've really enjoyed it and I really like some of the places that we went. But for me, because I'm on the island and it's a very unique thing, I mean, it's not a unique thing. There are so many islands. But I am in love with kind of the water and the colours. And because obviously we've got the landscape set, we have got the colours here. I mean, I would do something with greenery and flowers, but I do that quite a lot. So I do draw flowers in a lot of my illustrations and I do love them. But apparently I want to give myself more of a challenge of using a brand new material and drawing sea. Yeah. So let's do it. Let's get sketching. And for that, I'm going to need my trusty iPad and my Apple Pencil. Let's do it. What have I done? How on earth am I going to do this?
So I've never actually drawn a pier before, or a big landscape of the sea, so there is a first time for everything. But I first started trying to get the composition right because I thought this would be really important to get the scene right and then put the characters in and not draw the characters first and do the background like I normally do. So I'm actually doing it right for once, I suppose. So the main idea for this, as I've, noted there for you, is that there's going to be a mermaid who lives under the pier. Because I think that scene could be really magical and could be a lovely idea for a picture book.
So now we've got our sketch and kind of a few tests. Let's go further and create the final piece. We are going to use kind of layering up, and this I am going to do, I don't know what this was. This we are going to do on Photoshop Procreate. This I am actually going to do on Procreate because, yeah, like I said before, I need some comfort. So if you don't know, I've been an illustrator for a long time. I do picture books and fiction books, but most of the stuff I do is actually digital. So I'm loving experimenting with different traditional techniques and mixing together and doing mixed media. What was my point? So that's why I thought it would be fun to try another material that I'd never heard of and never used before. Because why not? If you use these, please give me tips on how to use them. I have no idea. And if you don't know, you can learn with me and watch me probably make a lot of mistakes.
Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. I was terrified to use this on a bigger piece and trying to get lots of details in it. And also trying on a new paper, which, for lack of a better word, was kind of like softer sandpaper. But it did hold on to the pastels really, really well. So I can't complain, but it was very different to what I'm used to. And I suppose that is the whole point of this video, to get out of my comfort zone. And I'm very glad that I ordered the other face colour because it meant I could create some shading. And it did arrive on time and it arrived not broken. So, little wins. As you can see, I definitely did default, and you can also see my head. You'd think I'd put the camera in the right place by now, but never mind. I'm drawing characters again, even though the main idea of this is a landscape, but where I hadn't really used these much, I did just want to focus on using them. Yeah, that makes sense, Kim. But I really wanted to do something that I was comfortable with, just to start with, to get to know the material and how it would work before I got on with painting a landscape with these, because I kind of wouldn't have known where to start. So I'm really glad I did these and learned I could build them up, and if I wanted to leave some of the pigment thicker, it would give a lovely texture, and if I wanted to use them thinner, more like a wash, obviously, not with water or anything like that. But if I wanted to use kind of a dusting, that worked too, and the colour was more transparent. So yeah, I did enjoy this. And I was so shocked at how well these colours could blend, even the bright ones. I mean, they just really worked well together. It was just like using more of the original pigment. They were so bright. I mean, I loved them, and they did remind me of makeup, and it was so fun. It was just a nice experience. And then I decided to, make my life more difficult. I was actually going to use a coloured paper underneath the sea, and I don't actually know why, but I did, and I made a big mess while doing the sea, but it was just so fun just to put the colour on. I did have to be careful what I touched though. After I had photographed everything and got it into Procreate, I adored how the texture translated across from the traditional to the digital. And I was going to use coloured pencils to go over the top of it, but I decided just to get it onto my iPad because I was afraid of messing up the picture or knocking it or smudging it, because I didn't have any fixative or anything like that. So I decided to use my digital pencil and work on top of it there. And yeah, this was just enjoyable because I didn't have to do that much to it, because there was so much natural texture with all the pigments and the little bits of dust. It was great. I did decide to add the pier in digitally because it was going to be really tricky to get these intricate details using the Pan Pastel. I mean, if you know a way, please let me know in the comments, because I am so new to this. I mean, it probably really shows. Does it count that I used a digital pastel brush though? Yeah, definitely need to see if there's anything out there that I could probably use. But for this, I did enjoy using the digital and just going in over the top of the pastel layers that I had created. And it was essential for me anyway that I did use these different layers to create them, because then I could move them about and work on the composition a bit more just to get it right, basically. Here I am spending a lot longer than I probably should have trying to work out how on earth the mermaid was sat, even though I wasn't drawing all of her because she was in the sea. It was really hard to show where the tail would come out above the water, because without that, she's not a mermaid. I mean, you need to see the tail, right? Unless I just could have called it a mermaid piece. Anyway, yeah, so that took a while. And then I didn't know what colour to do her hair. So you'll see me trying lots of different tones, because I did want her to stand out, but not too much. Because obviously, she's a secret mermaid that lives under the pier, obviously. So I finally settled on a dark blue that matched some of the sea colours, because then she would stand out, but not lot. And on the subject of hair, I decided to completely remove the character's hair and change it because, yeah, I just like the story that a non-magical girl is basically kind of wishing on a shell. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what she's doing with it, but let's pretend that that's what she's doing. So I wanted to bring the natural colour hair back. And yeah, and because I was really smart and joined the layer together, she was all merged into one layer. So I just had to kind of rub it out and work over the top. But anyway, you know, learn from my mistakes. Definitely keep more layers than you think you're going to need. So yeah, you'd think after over 10 years, I'd have got the hang of this by now, but nope. Once the characters were done, it was time to do the fun bit, but I absolutely do love drawing the characters. But I added in all the little bits and the details and accessories, and it was great. And then it was time to try and work out how on earth to do the lighting. It was really important for me to get the lighting correct, but I didn't want it to overpower the image. And the way I tend to do lighting, I don't know if it's right or not, but it's just what I do. If you've got a way you know how to do lighting, then keep doing that. So what I tend to do is I put a load of the yellow colour on it, kind of quite thickly, but sort of blending it out. Then I mess about with the opacity and the layer settings until I've got how I want it to look. And then I will create another layer with the white and sort of put that exactly where the light is, so it really shows up. So you've got one layer that's kind of slightly faded but is the colour of the light, and the other that is the bright of the light. Hope that makes sense. And the very last thing that I do is I add some more of those bright pinks and blues and turquoises just throughout the sea to bring everything together. Because I do really want to emphasise the kind of magical, mystical feeling that you get when you look at this image.
Thank you so much for watching. I cannot believe what we came up with, and I can't believe I managed to do a whole piece from Pan Pastel and pencil. I mean, I have to say, I think using the pencil really did kind of open up, for me anyway, a new way of working with the Pan Pastel. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved it. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot believe what we came up with, and I can't believe I did a landscape. I mean, I'm so lucky to live here on the Isle of Wight. I really need to do them more. It really does go to show you can find inspiration anywhere. So because I ordered the landscape box, I drew a landscape. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I really do want to do landscape. You know, I think they've got a marine one. Although I have drawn the sea, but is that an excuse to get some more? Who knows? So let's do it. Let's get sketching. And for that, I'm going to need my trusty iPad and my Apple Pencil. It's upside down. Oh, here's a video I think you'll like, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Enjoy!